He's a multi-talented St. Lucian voice actor, writer, producer, and presenter who's using his voice to break down stereotypical barriers. Joining us now all the way from the UK is Ashley Joseph. Good morning, Ashley. Welcome to Smile Jamaica.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Lovely to be here.
Yes, yes. And I was joking off air that I'm thanking your Jamaican wife for your attire this morning. Yes.
No, we were in Jamaica. We visited just before Christmas.
Okay.
So this is officially Jamaican. It's not something that I found in London. This is real from Jamaica, just so people know.
Yeah, I've jerk chicken, smoke on it and everything.
Listen, come on, you know.
All right, so tell me a little bit about your journey in the creative arts, Ashley. Where did this all start for you?
Yeah, I fell in love with the arts at a young age. There was a show in the UK called The Real McCoy, and it was, for me and many of my generation, it was the first time we saw people that looked like us on TV being funny, singing, doing incredible things, and using satire in a political way, which I thought was really powerful because it made me think about my community, my world, what was going on, and I loved playing different characters. And I never knew this was a thing I could do. I was doing this at school, and then my sister was into it, my older sister, and she took me to the youth theatre. And at the youth theatre, they were saying, look, you're really talented, you got to keep doing this. And I was about 12 at that point, and yeah, the journey just kept continuing and growing and meeting so many people along the way that mentored me and helped make me see that my dream is a reality. And I think that's such an important thing for young people.
Yeah.
You know, when the dream transitions to reality.
Absolutely. So tell me, how did you hone your skills? Well, I know as an actor, but how do you hone your skills as a voice actor? What are the nuances between the two?
Yeah, it's closer than I think a lot of people think. So one of the things is looking after your voice. So there's a lot of steaming. There's a lot of remedies that my nan's given me that is worked out. So, you know, and my nan wasn't a voice actor, but she was just like, you have to boil this and let it sit there and put it in the pan. Don't buy that thing there, go put that in it. So there's that as well. My lovely St. Lucian grandmother, she gave me just in life, and I realized how much that helped. With regards to the technicality of things, you're actually in a booth sometimes, a lot of the time, by yourself. So as an actor, you're usually on set with lots of other people, but in the booth, it's just you, the director, and the engineer. So all you have to go off is what the director's giving you. So you have to really know the character, and you have to really know that story and use your voice to tell it all. You don't have your body to do that. You can use it in the booth. You really need to get that performance out in the voice to give the animators enough to really bring your character to life. Yeah,
you know, and it's interesting because you see the characters, you hear the voice, but you're seeing the character. Is that one of the things, because you've done a lot of different characters, each time you do one, do you have to change the sound of your voice, the nuances, the pitch?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for me, I treat each character as a person. I love people watching, you know. One of the things I love doing the most is going out and just eating by myself and just watching people go by and seeing how people interact, because that gives me so much as an actor. So when I explore a character, when I meet one for the first time, I go, who is this person? Who are they? What do they sound like? Where are they from?
Yeah.
And I always ask myself, what do I have in common with them and what's different? Because as an actor, you really want to make sure you can relate to them, but also there's things that you may disagree with, just to separate that character a bit from yourself and then see where that voice is going to push. You know, are they a Southern American, you know, or are they of St. Lucian or Jamaican heritage? But for me, that's really important to really bring my knowledge, but also the rest of the world to those characters, as long as it's real and authentic.
Yeah. Yeah, very important. One of the things that we talk about a lot is that authenticity of voice and of representation. I know us Caribbean folks, we get a little testy when we see ourselves and we say, we wouldn't do that. How has that journey been for you? Because I know you're You're very big on representation and authenticity. How challenging has that been for you?
It's a challenge every day, you know, be completely transparent. Here in the UK, sometimes I can go into rooms as a writer or go into a job as an actor, and I'm the only black person, let alone black man, on the job. And if there's something about a character that I'm either creating to help as the writing team that I feel is two-dimensional, I feel that it's my right to speak up. It's hard because you don't want to be the only person in the room speaking up. But in that moment, it's like, I've got to speak up for all Caribbeans, all Africans, like, I've got to speak for all Americans, all Brits, I've got to speak up to everyone. Because if we don't take that control and change the narrative of our own stories and making these characters that we're creating full, then it's going to keep being that cycle. Because stereotypes are based on assumption. And you know what? Caribbean people, we are joyful people. We're bright, we're bold, we have lots of color and vibrancy and comedy, but we also have wisdom and a soul and stories that can travel so far and show our depth and range. And it's very important to do that. And I had to have that conversation recently on a job I'm working on as a writer about making sure the Jamaican grandfather we're creating has that authenticity. And it was scary, but I kind of listened to my little gut, and I also, my gut is God as a Christian. And I said, speak up. And when I spoke up, they said, absolutely, Ashley, we'd love for you to lead and help us develop this character.
Excellent.
So if you stick to your path and your truth, then it always pays off in the end.
Yeah.
It's not an easy role. It's the better role. I prefer that role.
I agree with you. I think at the end of the day, if you sit there silent and then the product comes out and people start saying, then they'll say, Ashley, you were in the room. Why didn't you say something? You made us waste millions. You are a part of the multi-award winning JoJo and Gran Gran.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, talk to me about that project.
JoJo and Gran Gran is the best job I've done in my life.
Wow.
It takes so much for me as a creative, as a man, as a husband, as a father, as someone born of St. Lucian heritage. You know, my nan came here just before the 60s, and then had my mother. And, you know, for me to be able to write on that show, to voice on that show, it's the first time St. Lucia's ever been animated. For me, what a legacy. You know, what a legacy as a British-born St. Lucian to do that. The show is just, you know, to hear people call me or comment on my Instagram saying, you know, my grandmother's in tears because she never thought she'd see a show of a cartoon of a little black British-born girl with her hair getting braided.
Wow.
The show knows no bounds for me. It's very dear and close to my heart. And to be able to tell stories and use things that my nan has said. There's a special episode called When It's Time to Visit St. Lucia, and I used a lot of my nan's lines for Great Gran Gran, you know, things where my nan would always say, I'm not stopping it, or I'm just passing it, you know, and these are just things that have become intrinsically in my world. So, yeah, I could talk about JoJo and Gran Gran for ages. I love that show, you know, it's always be in my heart, always is.
Excellent. Ashley, so proud of you, man. Keep doing it and representing. And I look forward to seeing much more from you.
Yeah, definitely. And next time I'm in Jamaica, I will holler you guys and I'll come to the studio.
Please do. Please do. And I got a comedy club that I want to take you to as well.
Okay, right. Where's my flight? Book the flight. Book the flight.
That was award-winning writer, actor, voice actor, and producer, Ashley Joseph. Join us again next week for Caribbean Check-In. Coming up next, we hear all about Grenell's Defense Driving Workshop for 2024. Crash no more. Soon come.